Let's talk about haters in today's episode. I actually got a call today. It was pretty funny, but he was so mad on the phone saying I was pumping up Toronto real estate.
You know, I've always wanted to call you, and dude, your content pissed me off to no end. Between you and it's guys like you that you propagated commoditizing homes, taking equity out, buying something else. Like, dude, like, when is enough enough? You guys are the reason for irrational exuberance in real estate. Like, I would like to see legal recourse against you guys. I don't think it's possible, but...
It's not necessarily that we're just pumping real estate for the sake of pumping real estate. Like, yeah, I like real estate. It's a great investment alternative. It doesn't have to be your primary focus. You don't go all in like I did. I should have diversified a little bit. But real estate is a great investment class. Like, what are we supposed to do? Just throw all your money into an index fund and call it a day, make your 4 or 5%, 7% maybe, 7% on a good day. But like, some funds are losing so much money, you know? So what's wrong with holding a property? The argument is that people like me and other real estate agents on social media are pumping real estate investments such as little condos like that. Yeah, and unless you bought the property a long time ago and you have like a very minimal mortgage, you didn't refinance it, then it might make sense to rent it out. But the problem is, because the cost of carrying is just so high with these high interest rates, that the rent is being kind of forced onto tenants, and we're squeezing these tenants to get more rent to cover our costs. And oftentimes you can only squeeze them so much. Your landlords are still losing $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month. What are you gonna do about it? It all made sense when interest rates were lower than the rate of appreciation. Essentially, the real interest rate was actually negative. That's when it all made sense, because anything you bought would just appreciate and you'd be a dummy not to buy anything. In other words, if interest rates were at 2%, but properties were appreciating at 7, 10%, then you'd be taking that spread, right? Anywhere from 5 to 7% a year on year. Simple math anyway, but that's how it all works. And that's why all these asset owners won. And we're kind of used to that for the past 2 decades. So can you blame individuals for buying properties? Like, as an investment vehicle, no. I mean, wouldn't you want to get ahead? So yeah, that's the issue, and that's why people are hating it, because if you didn't have that down payment to get into the market, then you basically didn't get on the train. And it's unfortunate, but a lot of people are in that situation. And now our home prices are just so messed up that a lot of generations can't buy anymore. And I feel bad for the next generation. My kids will be okay, but the next generation, I don't know what they're gonna do. It's gonna be a lifelong renter. And not that renting is bad. I mean, if you look at any other major city in the world, New York, for example, you don't even think about the word renting. You think about the word roommates. So we recently had to sell a property where the mortgage is underwater and the seller actually owed more than the mortgage was worth. And yeah, I felt bad for them. But the guy on the phone said,
you can't feel bad for them. They put them, like, this is how people learn. For so long, people have been putting their hand close to the stove and they haven't been getting burnt.
I can't help but be human, you know? Like, I do feel bad for them that they have to actually pay money to get out of the mortgage. That's the situation that people are in. But listen, I didn't put them there. I didn't put people like this. Yes, I was talking about investment as a good category, as a good way to make money, but it's not for everyone. So don't take any of my content as general advice. If you want a real consultation, call me. And look, why would I be pumping up real estate? If I don't think it makes sense to buy real estate, then I should be telling you that. And you'll be calling me to sell. Either way, we'll get a transaction. Not everybody can just escape Canada and go to the US or whatever else in the part of the world. The reason why we're here, at least for me anyway, we have kids and we have families, we have their friends. We're planted and rooted here. It's not just easy to pick up and go. If I was younger, didn't have kids, it was like 20 years ago maybe, yeah, you know, screw Canada, let's get out of here. But you can't escape your problems. Taxes are high everywhere. Not everywhere, but like a lot of the major developed cities are just high. Like taxes in New York and California and all that is just as high, if not higher than here. And real estate prices are higher as well too. So like, what are you gonna do? Sure, a lot of good things about it. You know, economy's great. Entrepreneurialism is at its finest. There's 10 times more people in the States, but it comes with its own challenges as well too. School system, guns, gun violence, like it's just class warfare even. Like the divide between rich and poor is so huge, and I just feel so bad for people in those situations. It's horrible. Healthcare, people like not able to afford their own healthcare, so they have to like die or forego medication. I mean, that's happening. It's happening everywhere. It's happening so much more in the States than it is here. You know, there's benefits of that as well too. There's 2-tiered systems, which I do like, where you have the money, you can pay for healthcare if you need it, so you have to wait for these undurable long wait times for just simplest things. But it is what it is. The world is not free of problems. And what about countries where people are fleeing persecution and injustice and unfairness? And all the legal systems that it's just not so good, and it's just everything's so unfair, dictatorships and things like that. People would kill to be in Canada. Yeah, sure, of course, maybe parts of the US is better than Canada for sure. But like overall, Canada's still a wonderful place to be. And that being said, that's the reason why you have so much immigration. So many people coming into the country, wanting to come into the country, and we need immigration at the end of the day because our productive workforce is shrinking. Everyone's getting older, and we need to replace them. We need to keep the CPP up, like our pensions up. So it's just going to be a fact that we're still going to continue to have immigration, and housing supply can't keep up. That's why you see this all in the media right now about people building more homes and all the immigration going on. So fundamentally, investment in Canada and real estate, to me, still makes sense. It's not like everybody can just pick up and go. If they could, they would. What are they supposed to do? So it's still a real asset class. There's still opportunities to make money in it. And if making money in real estate is not your thing because you feel bad for the social justice of it all, and housing shouldn't be used to be financialized and make a profit off of a basic human need. Oh my God, how did I tell you this? Real estate wouldn't be built without investors. Who's going to stick their neck on the line to buy a property, a piece of land that is, rezone it, redevelop it, put all the construction money up ahead of time without investors? Because investors are the ones that are putting the money down. They can wait for the place to be built. And then when it gets delivered, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna rent it out. They're not gonna live in it. If you needed a place to live, you'd buy it right away and you'd live in it. Without investors, banks wouldn't give you financing for the project because there's no proof of concept. They don't want to lend you money for the sake of losing it all. They don't want to lose their money. Like, number one rule in banking is to not lose money, right? So they want to make sure that they have proven history of sales, meaning that you have purchaser deposits. So once you have a certain amount of projects sold, I think it's 70% or so, generally it's a rule of thumb, then they start giving you the construction financing. But without that, where are you gonna get the money to build several $100 million to build a condo tower or even just like a regular house? You still need like $600,000, at least $200-300 a square foot, at least $300 a square foot, let's call it, if you're a retail builder or small builder. Sure, there's, prefab technologies and all that, but you still gotta do a lot of things like pour the foundation, excavation, demolition, it all adds up. Minimum, the cheapest you're gonna buy for it, even the prefab is gonna be $200 a square foot. Because investors are the only ones able to put down a chunk of change and just wait for it to be built. Like if you're looking at a low rise, it might take you 18 months to build a house, and a condo might take 5 to 7 years, if not longer sometimes, to build a condo. No end user is gonna wait that much, or at least the majority of end users aren't gonna wait that long. So will we ever go back to a time where interest rates are gonna be lower than the asset appreciation? Who knows? I think probably yes, at some point, because of so much demand for housing, unless everybody leaves Canada en masse. But so far that's not the case. We're having net immigration here and people need a place to live. And more, the renting population is just gonna grow and the ownership population is just gonna shrink, and the power will be held in a few handful that actually can afford to own assets. So do I think everybody should go run out and buy an investment condo? Not in general. I mean, it depends on your situation. It's not for everyone. But if you don't have any real estate, buying pre-construction is not a bad way to do it, honestly. You have a little bit of deposit. Sure, it's a bit speculative, but if you buy in the long run and you know you're gonna pay the equity down, or you buy it out cash, maybe the numbers don't make sense. Sure, the cap rates are kind of low, the yield is a little bit low, but it's a great way to get started and build equity. Because buying an index fund, a mutual fund that's just like negative every year, like what's the point of that? So is buying a condo for everybody? No, I don't think so. But it could be a great way to offset some of the other investment strategies, right? Buying a mutual fund, maybe it's not the best way to go with all these high expense ratios and basically no appreciation at all, and just, small little low yields if it's positive at all. It's just another alternative. And let's just say that you have a kid going to school, in the future near a university. Hey, why not get ahead of that and buy instead of owning? Or what if you want to stop renting and not pay rent and you want to pay down equity? It's not a bad idea. And maybe condo isn't the way to go. City of Toronto just passed zoning where these Main Street buildings now can actually become 6 stories as of right, and you can do up to 60 units. That's pretty good. So previously you had to go through a crazy zoning process to get that done. Now it's done as of right, as of yesterday. I don't know when this video is coming out, but as of Thursday, May 23rd, that just got passed. So let's see what the rules say. All this effort is to create more housing, to create basically more supply, so it offsets all the demand that's going on. And the theory is that the cost of housing will be actually a bit lower as time passes. and also to make room for the growth in the city. Because at the end of the day, look how busy this place is. Like, Toronto's just so busy. It's only going to get more and more dense, which is good and bad, but I personally like it. I'm on the density side because with density comes all these cool things that you get, like carbon ice cream shops, like these specialty shops that you see in New York that everybody loves going to New York for. That's what we're going to get. Better transit even, you know, new subway line coming. Like, that wouldn't happen without people. So shout out to the gentleman that reached out. Probably took a lot of courage or even your time for the conversation. Thank you for that. Just to reach out and voice your concerns, because it's kind of good to hear the perspective of what people are thinking and our messaging that goes out there. And I wouldn't know this if we didn't have a one-on-one conversation. So don't be afraid, reach out, give me a call. Sorry for the sirens, it's kind of noisy in here. I'll catch you next time.
Honestly, Ken, the more I talk to you, I like your style, man, so I can't knock it off.
Thanks a lot.
I can't knock it off. I called you, I wanted to hate you. At the end of the 30-minute mark, I like you. If I'm ever back in Toronto, I'm definitely going to pop in.
Add it up.
Thanks for sticking out to the very end. I hope you got some value out of this. Do me a favor, please press like and subscribe, but more than anything, leave me some feedback so we know what to produce for you going forward. Thanks again.